Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Wolper. I'm the Director of Happiness and one of the partners at Verita International School. And I'm truly honored to welcome everyone here tonight. We are trying something that's new and we hope is a very informative and interesting way for you all to learn more about the school and really what happens inside the classroom directly from the mouth of the teachers or our curriculum director, to be specific. We have Miss Anna T here, who's going to walk you through our curriculum, how we set up the class, how we work with the kids, some of the different schemes and some of the different programs. And it'll really give you a thorough, informative perspective of what's happening in the class and how much effort they're actually putting behind educating our kids with our unique educational philosophy. Unfortunately, Miss Anna T won't let me do any of this. She wants it all to herself. You know how much I like to be in the middle of everything, but I will not be able to do this. We're trying to do something technically that will be interesting. We'd like Miss Anna to be speaking about what happens in the classroom and at the same time showing you some videos of the classroom. So please be patient if there's any technical errors. And we have Mr. Damian Ward, who's moderating. So if you have any questions or there's anything you want to ask or anything that you'd like to know further about, please don't hesitate to ask in the chat area of the Zoom call, and we'll either respond to you directly after that particular segment, or Miss Anna T will both give you her email, and you can feel free to reach out to her and ask her any questions you have. So without further ado, I'd like to bring Miss Anna T and really have her give you a in-depth and thorough view of what really happens here at Verita School. So thank you very much. We hope you enjoy. This will be recorded and available on our YouTube channel shortly after the call. And please feel free to share it with anyone you like and enjoy. I think you'll really find this interesting. Have a nice evening, and without further ado, Mrs. Anna T.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for
Hello.
joining. Hi. Thank you for joining into this workshop. This is actually for you. As Mr. Michael said, I'm Miss Anna T, for those that you've never met me before. I am a year 2 teacher since last year, and I am also the curriculum coordinator of the school. I'm supporting the schemes that we have. I'm supporting and helping the teachers. I'm going to be very honest with you. I will be very nervous for the first couple of minutes because this is the first time that I'm doing that in front of the whole all of you. Yes, so thank you again for joining. I hope that you will find it very interesting and very informative. As Mr. Michael said, you can I'm going to share my email with you at the end, and you can ask me whatever you want to learn more. So we're ready to start.
I'd like to know a little bit more about you, Miss Anna T.
About me, okay. Right. Yes, I have a daughter. I'm going to start with my loved ones. I have a daughter. She's 7 years old. Her name is Athena. We used to live, I'm from Greece, but we used to live in London for 11 years. I am a teacher for 11 years now, a primary teacher. I have been working in many schools in London. And last year we decided to come back to Greece, and I feel very, very, very lucky being a part of this school. Actually, one day I said to Mr. Michael, and I'm sharing with you, that this is the only reason that I really want to stay to Greece. This is a secret, but I'm sharing with you. Yes, so we're ready to start. Okay, so we are going to see the main subjects that we are covering in school. We're going to start with phonics. I'm going to go through the scheme first. So the name of the scheme is Read, Write, Ink. We are following this amazing program. This is a UK scheme. This is a program that we are teaching the children from reception to year 2 how to learn the sounds, how to read short words and short sentences. As you can see on the left side of the screen, we have some levels that we follow. So starting from reception, the children should be on a red level and go through down the colors. As you can see, they are going up to gray level. And on the right side, you can see some books, some special books that we have from Read, Write, Ink, and we have them in school as well. Yes, so we have this special scheme. We are following this special scheme, and we have actually created this year a lovely progression map. So it's like a timeline that we know where we are and where students should be. And if we have some students that they cannot achieve on time, we also have some interventions and some pullouts. So yes, they have this benefit and they can get out of the classroom and they do some extra learning with a teacher. We are going to see now some moments from our classrooms. I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to go through the teaching style first. So actually, for the early years, reception, year 1 and 2, we have a teaching style, which is starting with phonics, which is to have the children on the carpet, they're all concentrate on the teacher, and the teacher starts to show the cards with the sounds. Those cards are amazing because behind each sound, there is a story, as you can see through the video as well. So they can remember actually the sounds and they can implementing them into the reading and writing. And that gives me the opportunity to explain you also why this scheme is so special. Is because it's not just how to identify the sounds. We are not focusing only into reading, but when they learn the sounds and when they start learning how to read short words, long words, read words, like the words with the very tricky parts of the reading, at the same time, they're implementing this into the writing. So that's why this scheme is so special and so effective, because when we teach the sound, as you can see from the video, the children have the great opportunity to read speedily and fluently. And when they finish this, they go to the stations and they have the opportunity to write, write some words and building some sentences as well. This is up to year 2. As you can see from the video, we have 3 different stations. The stations are very, very important, and actually this is the biggest part of our school. We have a very low ratio, so it's 1 teacher per 9 children. So we want to make sure that absolutely for the main subject, we have 2 teachers. So there is 1 table, which is the independent table. As you can see, the children are working independently. They're writing, they're implementing the sounds and what they've learned. And the other 2 stations, 1 is supporting by the teacher. Actually, we have Mr. Damien on this video. This is from the beginning of the year. And the other table, the other station is supported by the teacher assistant, Miss Maria. So as I said, stations are very, very important, but we also have the notebooks. Can we move into, sorry, yes, I will move a little bit. I'm sorry. So as you can see here, we want to share with you the writing. So the children have a notebook for phonics. So they're starting, and you can see the progress actually, because they're starting writing only the sounds, and then slowly, they're progressing and they're writing the tricky words, they're writing spelling quiz, they're writing short sentences, and they are improving. At the back of the notebooks, I don't know if we can move at the back of the notebooks. This is very, very important because, as I said in the beginning, we are following specific progression maps. So at the back of the book, we have the learning objectives. So through the National Curriculum of England and Wales, we have to follow these learning objectives. So it's very important to see and to track the progress of the students. At the back of the books, of the notebooks, we have all the learning objectives that we have to cover by the end of the year. And actually the teachers are dating the learning objectives because we want to show the progress. So if you go back to November, you can see that this child can form lowercase. And then if you go to January, for example, after 2 months, you can see the huge progress that they made. In the classrooms, we have also displays. And believe me, displays are not only for decoration. Of course, we use the displays to make the classroom colorful, but this is not just for decoration. We have displays or bulletin boards, if you want to say that, because inside the classroom, we want to have information. We want to have accessible information for the children to go and find whatever they need in order to support them with their reading or with their writing, because we're talking about phonics now. So as you can see here, for example, in year 1, they have this informative display with all the sight words or red words. So those are the words that they have to learn by the end of the year. And let's say that it's time to build up a sentence. So the teacher is asking from a child to build up a sentence, and this child doesn't remember how to spell the word you. So they can go and see. So this is like an interactive display. So this is very, very important for our classroom. Also, we have some displays outside, but I'm going to talk about this when we will move to language arts. I don't know if we have some questions, or I don't know if Mr. Damian or Mr. Michael want to add something.
There are no questions yet in the area. Okay.
Very informative. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What would you like to move on to now?
Now, let's go to language arts. And I am going to make it very clear from the beginning. So language arts, because I have so many questions around this lesson, this subject. I have so many parents asking me, what is language arts? Is it like art? Is it like, what is it? So language arts, for those that you don't know, is actually literacy, the subject literacy. So we are learning, we are teaching the children how to write. We are teaching grammar. We are teaching English, actually. But the amazing part...
Hold on here. Just give me a moment
just
here. I got this. I got this. Don't you worry.
Of course, we're following the national curriculum of England and Wales, but we have also we are using actually a specific scheme. So this scheme is the scheme that I'm waiting for Mr. Michael to show you. Here you are. Oh, okay. All right. So this scheme is a book-based approach. So we have lots of literature books. We call it literacy tree. And it's very, very, very interesting. It makes children to feel more engaged. Actually, I'm going to say that from my bottom of my heart that I've been working in many schools in UK for 12 years now. And this is the first year that I feel so inspired from this scheme to teach literacy, to teach grammar, to teach writing, to teach spelling, everything around literacy under this scheme, because we are teaching through a text. So we are approaching differently, but we are following exactly the same learning objectives from the national curriculum. As you can see here, we have lots of books. The first row shows us the books that we are covering for literacy when we have to teach the children grammar, punctuation. This is year 5 example. And the other line, the orange one, actually, as you can see, is for reading. So we are using the same scheme for reading. So can you please, Mr. Michael, share the video?
Yes, I can. I think. I think I can.
Okay.
There we go.
Right. So looking at the video, we can see all the stations that we have. This is the same philosophy. The whole school has the same philosophy about the tables, the stations. But the difference with language arts is that we have tables per ability. So we have some ability tables. We have the groups that they're working. Everyone is working with the same, under the same learning objective. But we are using the ability stations. Again, we have 3 stations or 4 sometimes when we have an extension work for the children or a challenge to complete. As you can see, we have 1 teacher supporting a table. The teacher assistant is supporting the second one, and the third one is sometimes independent, sometimes with the support of the teacher as well. So if they have to approach the specific learning objective, and let's say they have to write an article, or they have to write an essay, or they have to build up sentences, they have all the resources in front of them. They have all the supportive resources that they need. And they also have the support of the teachers all the time. But what are the stations per ability? Let me make it more clear to you. So we have some students that they are struggling sometimes, and they can't even understand all the success criteria that we have to cover. So we differentiate this worksheet. So we make it to be, adapted. We make it to be more adapted to the children's ability. But that doesn't seem like, or doesn't mean like we have to leave this child behind. That means that we're supporting in a different way. And this is very, very important. The second station, the independent one, is going to be the station that the child is working under, again, the same learning objective, but with a different activity or a different worksheet. Moving to the notebooks that we have as well. As you can see, this is year 5, yes, this is year 5 book. So they have lots of different types of writing. The expectations are amazing. If you see, there are some lovely writing inside. And of course, at the back, as I said, for phonics, we have the learning objectives, and we can track the progress of the students. This is actually, you can pause it a bit. This is actually a research based approach. So for example, in year 6, sorry, Miss Mary did the story from our scheme, The Last Bear. So they had to read, let's say, the first part of the book, and then they had to do a research through the WWF. They found all the information, what they want about the bears, and then they had to write a non-chronological article. They had to make some headings, and they present it into the classroom in front of in front of the classmates. As you can see at the back of the book, there is a display. This display is outside of the classroom. So this is not an informative display as we have inside the classroom. This is a display to publish their wow works. And then the children feel very proud of what they made. This is not only painting, this is also writing. And believe me, they really try their best. They really, really want to see their work published. So they really try harder. I don't know if we have some questions. Mr.
Not
Damien?
yet.
Not yet. Okay, so we can see some pictures from the article that I was talking about. The Last Bear. This is the story from our scheme. This is the story that they did in year 6. Actually, now reminds me one really good example from before I will move to math, from my classroom in year 2. We had the amazing story, We Are Water Protectors. It was about a girl a tribe girl who's trying to protect the water of her land. And our learning objective was to write for a different purpose. And we had to make signs. We had to create signs and write some signs, and we protest around the school. So the children didn't even realize that they are producing a piece of writing is through a fun way, through a very interesting way. And at the same time, they're not only learning how to write, but they're learning what is a protest and how can I protest. And this is a great example. I don't know, but this is my favorite part of year 2 stories. Yes, you can see some more displays here. This is actually from year 4. Yes, this is from year 4. So they, this is from my room. The year 4 ones is the display. They want to show the excellence, the board of excellence, the word that they really want to publish and share with the whole school. Yes, this is another example from the inside display. This is in my room, and as you can see, we have the common exception words, the words that they are using into their writing. We have some adjectives that they can go and get ideas, and we have the synonyms instead of using always the same words like very, so, sad, next, happy. They have synonyms and they can go and explore. They can go to the display and find some synonyms of the words. Yeah, I don't want to go over more. Yeah, so for reading, actually, as I said, we are following the same scheme, and I really, really want to make it also clear, because some of you feel like maybe that we read the reading is like we take a book, the teacher is taking a book and is just reading in front of the class, which is not. We are also following a specific scheme for reading, which is exactly the same with language arts, the literacy tree, and we have specific books that we have to cover. The very important part is that we have fiction books, but also non-fiction. And I think this is really, really great, because from non-fiction books, we can work on so many learning objectives, so interesting way that the child can go through this book. And we also have specific learning objectives to cover. So each student has a folder, and we have the learning objectives, and we date, again, the same system as we do in language arts. We know where the student is, where the student should be, and how can we help, how can we support the student to be on track and to be on the timeline that we have set it. The other thing that I really want to share with you about reading before I will move to math is that we also use stations, but differently. For example, we have the teacher station, which is the station where the teacher is working with a very small group of students. The students are reading to the teacher, and the teacher is doing the comprehension tasks, or is doing the activity that they have to cover for that day through the planning. As long as the teacher is working with a small group, the other two stations, one station is supported from a teacher assistant. So the children from the station 2 are reading to the teacher assistant. So they're practice reading. Every day they're doing that. And the other station is the independent table, which actually is the RAS reading. I hope that you all enjoy RAS reading with your children, because this is amazing. And we have, so on this station, we have tablets, sometimes laptops, sometimes tablets, and the children are reading through the RAS scheme. So it's all about reading. We don't have students doing something else like writing, or it's all focusing about reading. Of course, some other year groups, they are using the buddy readers, which is like 2 children reading to each other. This is again practice reading. Some other year groups, they are doing read aloud. So this is the time where the teacher is reading the book from the scheme. But it's not only that, they have the book in front of them, they will follow teachers reading, so they still practice reading. And at the end, they have to complete a comprehension task, or they have to complete a project-based task. There are lots of things that we are doing around reading. I think I've done with reading, and if we can share math.
Just to say that since I've come to Greece, that one of the things that I'm going to take back and share with the Romanian staff when I visit again is this program, because this literary tree program is the best I've seen, as Miss Anna said, when I worked in the UK. This is by far the best I've seen to integrate properly the amount of different styles of reading, the different styles of writing, the different styles of literature that we need to teach as a primary school. Okay, thanks, Miss Anna.
Thank you. So now, in front of you have the one example from year 4. This is the scheme, the program, because Mr. Michael doesn't like the word scheme. I'll have to say that, I'm sorry. This is a program. This is a specific program that we are using during math. So this is the White Rose math. Actually, is a very well-known scheme. I've worked under this scheme before. In UK, they're using it a lot as well. I'm gonna go through this, but I just want to share with you that, again, we are implementing everything into stations. So that's why this scheme is so effective. So we are following the scheme as all schools maybe they do. But what makes us different is that we are following the learning objective. We are teaching the same way like the White Rose Math do, but then after teaching, the children have a great opportunity to work independently or to work in a very small group with a teacher. And this is actually a great quality of teaching, in my opinion, because you're working with a small group. So as you can see here, we have the year 4 example in front of us. We have to follow this timeline. We have specific units for the autumn term, for the spring, and for the summer. So we know by the end of this year, we have to cover all of the units. And under each unit, we have specific plans, specific resources, specific worksheets that children have to do, or some of them are not worksheets, but could be something more practical. And I'm going to explain you more, because this scheme has a different approach than the traditional way of teaching math. For example, we are using real objects. I don't know if we can see some examples from the video. So we use concrete, we use real objects in order to make it more clear to the students. We use all the manipulatives that we have to in order to make the children understand the concept of the lesson. I am going to show you some examples from the classrooms. And at the same time, I will try to explain you the stations that we have again. Okay, so this is the teaching part, and the teaching part is really quick. It's like 10-15 minutes. We spend 10-15 minutes to explain to the children the new lesson. But the rest of the time, we spend the rest of the time on the stations, on the tables, and we work with the small groups. As you can see here is Miss Ruby working with 2 children. It's a really small group of teaching. And here you can see the stations overall. So we have one station that they are doing some worksheet, and always the teacher supporting this table. But here there's another station with some hands-on activities, because in math, we're using lots of hands-on activities. For example, here we're teaching money. This is year 2, the other year 2, the year 2A. They're learning about money. So they have the worksheet on the table with Miss Millie, and they are practicing learning, I think, to identify the coins, if I remember right, or to count the money. And the other table at the back is with the teacher, another teacher supporting them to do the change, sorry. So they have to play the market, like giving change, how much does it cost, and give me the change. And this station, the third one, is the independent, which again, children have to do an independent activity related to the same learning objective, of course. So this is year 3. This is a lesson about measurement. They have the rulers, they have their worksheets in front of them. So some of the children, they're working independently. Some of them, they have the teacher. And actually, I forgot to mention that, and this is actually something that makes the stations in math so special. we have a rotation system. So when the teacher is working with a small group, the other stations are rotating when it's the time. So when they finish with the activity that they do on one table, then they move to the next one. So this is a great opportunity for the teacher as well to see all the children, to see all the children's ability and work with all of them. And this happens more up to year 4. I'm sure that next year we will try to make it more organized for the rest of the year groups. Of course, the year 6 is a different approach because they have to prepare themselves for the secondary. They still have the same logic, I mean, differentiation. They still have different ability tables, but with less, can I say fun? I mean, it's fun, but it's not like year 2. I'm sorry, I'm a year 2 teacher, so
yeah, it's got less hands-on,
less
hands-on
promote
material.
that, Mr. Damien. Sorry.
Yeah. It's just less hands-on materials.
Less hands-on. Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thanks. For math, again, as language arts and phonics, we also have notebooks. We have the squared books. They have the worksheet from the White Rose Math. Actually, as you can see, some of you, I think you received the notebooks at home, and maybe you've noticed that it's more like mental math, it's more practical. So they're trying to learn deeply. And at the back of the books, we have, again, the learning objectives. So the teachers are dating, again, the learning objectives. So we know and we track the progress of all of the children. If we see that a child needs extra support, or a child didn't achieve the learning objective yet, we also have the pullouts. We also support in small groups, and we make sure that this child will achieve it soon and will be on the timeline that we have. I'm not going to repeat myself about the displays, but you can see some examples. Those are the informative displays. The children can have access on this, and actually they really use it and they love it. As long as they are working, they can stand up and they can go and find information from the display. And this is a great interaction, I feel.
Miss Anna, we've had a question as to why are there 2 dates on some of the work. Do you want me to, or do you want to explain why there's 2 dates?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
That we've had a question as to why are there 2 dates on some of the work. Do you want me to explain, or do you want to explain why that is the case?
Okay, we can can you answer this, or we can answer it?
So basically, to answer the question, sometimes the same objective is used over 2 days, or it takes 2 days to complete it. So therefore, rather than writing the objective out again, the date continues. So for a good example of that might be you're doing a practical practical mathematics, more practical, I should say, for example, measuring or capacity, or some kind of element where you're doing this over 2 days or maybe even 3, and the objective hasn't changed, and you want all the children to experience each of the stations that have been created, and so therefore the objective stays the same, the date just changes. I hope that explains it for you. Thank you.
And also, if I can add something, when we date one objective twice or 3 times, this is a good way, as I said, to show the progress. I don't know if it's clear for you.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Right. And we now move into...
Sorry, we've had another question, which is, are they the dates they were taught or the dates they met the objective? Yeah, so the answer is it's the date they met the objective. So it might have to have been 2 examples of, or 3 examples where the child clearly understood what was being taught, and then it's been dated based upon when they understood it, not when it was taught. Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question.
Yes, yes, that's right. And we also, if I can also add this, we also have another very interesting policy, which is new, which is from this year, that we mark, maybe you already know, we mark the work as independent, semi-support, or full support. So we know and we can see, as long as we have a look on the book or at the back of the book, we can see that this child had the full support on this learning objective. So he might need extra help, extra support from us. So we are keeping this on track as well, which for me is really important as well. So we're ready to move in IPC, and we please. Okay, so IPC, what is that? So many questions about IPC. IPC is the International Primary Curriculum, which is under by fieldwork. And I will say that simply that this is the program that we are teaching science, history, geography, international, I forgot something, I think no. Yes, so I have some parents asking me, oh, you're not doing science in your school, oh, you're not teaching history. We are under this scheme, under the IPC, and actually with a very, very interesting way, very fun, very interactive. As you can see from the video, we have our famous entry points. So actually, when we start the unit, at the beginning of each unit, actually, we have the entry point. So this is going to be something really, really, really fun, really exciting. And this is the way that we explain the theme and we engage the children more. As you can see here, we have the entry point from year 3 under the unit fashion. We also have a different approach of teaching. We have the project-based learning. So they are working in groups. They have the stations again. They have the same logic, the same philosophy, but they are going deeply. So they are learning through the research. They're learning through making a project about under this unit. Again, the teacher supporting the tables, again, the same philosophy, the fully support. But at the same time, the children have the opportunity to create something by themselves, to present their work effectively, to learn how to connect the contexts more effectively, and they feel the confidence to speak when they have to introduce their project, when they have to share the project in front of the class, or sometimes they're visiting other classes and they're introducing their project, so they have the opportunity to talk more about what they've learned and how did they make this project. Also would like to say that working in stations for IPC is also full of hands-on activities. So they can be inside or outside of the classroom sometimes. The teachers and the program and everything around IPC, we just try to make interesting, and we're trying to encouraging the students more. We have real experiments happening as well, and the children are thrilled about the experiments. Also, most of our field trips are related with our units, so they have another interactive experience, so they can see that. And when they learn, when they really understand the unit, when they really have all of the experience around this unit, we have the exit point. the exit point happens again every time at the end of the unit. And sometimes parents are coming to school, they're going to the classroom, and they're having the opportunity to see, listen, watch what the children have learned. Actually, this is really, really effective. This is very, very important. The exit point is not just a celebration, it's not just a party. We do the exit points in order to observe and evaluate their learning for each unit. This is very, very important. Here we have some displays, as you can see. This is from year 1, the Pirates. That's the unit, the first unit, I think. This is another example from year 3, 4, and 5. They're still doing displays.
Sorry, we don't see nothing.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Okay, give us a moment here to get this connected. See what's going on. I apologize. Are we still online? I think we're up. There we go. Okay, there we go. Are we still there? You still
We're
see it?
still online, yes.
Yes, okay,
Still
great.
online.
Let's see if we can get this back up here. Okay, I'm not sure if can you see that now?
We can.
Yes, we
yeah.
do.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Great. So this is actually year 3's display. They've learned about fashion, and they made some projects and they displayed it. So this is actually, do you want to use?
No, perfect.
So this is a very great way to show that we really have, actually this is my entry point. That's my favorite one, of course.
Yeah, of course.
As you can see, we make it, yes, really, really fun for the children. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, let me tell you about the books, and I think I finished from IBC as well. Actually, in IBC, we also follow the same system, but we don't have the learning objectives at the back of the books. I also have some parents asking me why we don't have the learning objectives at the back of the books. The reason is that we actually meet the same learning objectives every time. So this is another great thing, actually, because in every unit, we meet the same learning objective. So the children have the opportunity to meet the learning objectives again and again. So there is no reason, but of course, we keep the records and we know where the children should be and where they are. Don't worry about that. Mr. Damien, do you want to add something for the IPC? I know that this is your favorite subject.
Yeah. So basically, as Miss Anna said, the children repeat some of the learning objectives in the different topics that they cover for that year. So what is happening is that the key objectives, there might be 12 key objectives per year. The children are meeting those during those different different topics, those 6 topics or 5 topics that they cover during the year. What then happens is that we can then check as we're going along, has every student managed to understand, for example, timelines, or for example, have they understood the science aspect of materials when they do the fashion topic? And although it sounds a bit strange, well, why are you redoing an objective? It is very common for children to forget key objectives. So you need to be going back over some of those key objectives. The same way in the mathematics program, we're covering addition, subtraction, multiplication, division when they're old enough 3 times in the same year, because what they need to underpin in the children is an absolute strong set of strong foundations on which they can then build all the other skills they need to develop as they get older. So primary is about creating those strong foundations that we can then build upon as they move into secondary. But as Miss Anna said, the key skill above all else is the ability to research and to question. And that's what the IPC is really about. Is that enough, Miss Anna?
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to share my email with you if you have questions, if you want me to send you some of our curriculum maps. If you have any question, actually, you can contact with me, or I will be happy to see you in school, maybe in person. I am better in person rather than talking online. Some of you know me. So I'm going to write my email, send it to you at the end. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.
Yay, Miss Anna.
Very good.
That was
Thank you.
really, I'm sorry, Damien.
Sorry, Michael, I was just going to say that if you have got any questions amongst parents, if you've got any questions you want to put into the box, you can. But as you can see, we wanted to just really give you a flavour. And I think Anna T, and thanks to Michael and to Alison as well, Michael's wife, because they've put a huge amount of work into making this as smooth as it has. And, you know, apologies for the slight technological issue, but this is the first time we've tried something quite so intricate. And, you know, I've got to say that some of the movies were really amazing to see. I've not seen one done this way and before in Romania or in England. So thank you very much to all of you.
Yes, I really want to thank you, Mr. Damon. I really want to extend a huge thank you to Miss Allison, who worked quite hard to put this together, went in the classrooms and tried to capture the right moments so that you could see what's going on. And Miss Anna, I really appreciate you sharing from the insider's view, a real honest look at the classroom and what happens in the classroom. I think that was very informative. I hope that gave more information to our parents about what's going on in the classroom. This will be an ongoing series of workshops that we're doing over the course of the rest of the year. We're going to talk about our secondary school and what's happening there, but we just wanted to give you a glimpse of what's actually happening rather than myself or Mr. Damien or Ms. Leslie telling you. We wanted you to see what's actually happening. And I want to thank everyone for their very kind birthday wishes. It's been a little bit traumatic turning 40, but I think I'll acclimate to it. And I just wanted to say good night to everyone. We appreciate you being here and joining us for this. Again, Miss Anna, Miss Allison, your work was amazing, and this will be available for download or viewing online on our YouTube in the next couple of days. The email for Miss Anna will be sent to you through our Seesaw account so that you all can reach her, and then be prepared for the next series of workshops, which also will include our specialty classes as well, and a view inside their classrooms and see what they're up to and what they're saying. So with that being said, I will give you all the best wishes for the evening, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of this event.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early. Take care, everyone. Good night.